Have you ever wanted to build a portfolio website for your data science projects, but perhaps it's a bit difficult or it might require you to do some HTML coding? In this video, I'm going to show you how you could build a simple portfolio website for free. And I'm going to show you in a step-by-step manner from scratch in less than 10 minutes using the GitHub pages. And so without further ado, we're starting right now. So a couple of days ago, I've written a blog post in Towards Data Science on how to build a simple portfolio website for free. And in this blog post, I've shown you in a step-by-step manner on how you could do the portfolio website. And so in this video, I'm going to show you exactly how, and I'll provide you the link to this particular blog post in the video description, just in case you want to read about it or follow along while listening or watching the video. And so let's get started now. So you want to head over to the GitHub of Data Professor and click on the repositories. And so notice here that the portfolio repository here is the one that we're going to be rebuilding again. And so let me right click this and then I'll open another window, and then we're going to create a new repository. So let's call it portfolio 2 because the original one was already created. And so let's have a look here. So you're going to see the contents of the website. And so here we have the README, which is this particular file. And the README will essentially contain the contents of the website. And so what you see here will be the contents of the website. And you see here that there are two images, and they're going to be here. And the images will have taken it from the Unsplash website. And I'll show you in just a moment how you could search for images and use it on the portfolio website. And so here, let's create a new portfolio. Click on the green button here on the top right hand corner. And then in the repository name box here, you're going to type in the name of your repo. And so for this particular example, I'm going to type in portfolio. All right, and I'll call it portfolio 2. But for your case, you could call it portfolio, okay? And so you want to make sure that you want to take the add a README file here in order to create the README along with the repository. And then you want to click on create repository. All right, and then next step is to head over to the settings at the top right hand corner here. Click on it, and then on the left hand panel here, you want to click on the pages. And notice here that you could feel free to rename the repository at any time by renaming it here. Okay, so we're going to click on the pages, and now in the main panel here, you want to click on the drop down menu, and then you want to select main, and then you want to click on save. And notice here that there's a message saying that your website is now ready at Data Professor, which is the username of my repository, .github.io/portfolio2. So let's try head over to that website. All right, and so there's nothing here, and it looks exactly like the README. Okay, so let me show you. Let's go back to portfolio 2, and so it looks exactly like this one. So there's no content here. And so let's say that I change this a bit. I'll add like ... Let's see what happens, and then we'll save it. And you notice here that there's a ... here, and the name has been changed to portfolio. Okay, let me refresh. Okay, nothing as of yet. Maybe it might take some time. So let's head over back to the GitHub pages settings here, and then we're gonna choose the theme for the website because the one here is a bit blank. And so let's click on choose a theme. And in the blog post, I've shown you how to use the Cayman themes, and you could feel free to select a theme that you like. And when you click on it, you're gonna see the preview here. Minimal, okay? So you select the theme that you like, but let me just stick to the Cayman themes here. And you want to click on select theme. Okay, let's refresh the web page again. Okay, maybe it takes some time. That prior update that I've made has just appeared here. All right, and now it's implemented, and you can see that this is the Cayman themes. Okay, and the content is pretty blank here. And so let's go back to the README file, and let's click on the portfolio 2 again. But in your case, it might be portfolio, right? Or any name that you give it. And notice that after we have applied the theme, there's a new file that appears here, _config.yml. Let's click on that, and the theme here is theme Jerkle theme Cayman. Okay, so we clicked on the Cayman theme, and then it adds that to the .yml file. So we have yet to add the images for the portfolio website. So let's click on the readme.md file, and then we're going to populate this. Okay, we're going to populate it with the information from the example website. Okay, so why don't you go ahead and click on the edit this file icon at the top right hand corner here, and then the page will reload, and then you want to type in the contents here, but I'm gonna just copy and paste from the prior example. So you could follow along and head over to the portfolio repository here. And then you want to click on readme.md, and then you want to click on raw, and then you want to select everything. And then copy, and then we're going to paste it into the readme.md file. And note that we're going to delete the portfolio here. And let's save it by scrolling down and then click on commit changes. And you could also add some description while making the change. Populate with example content. Commit changes, and you get this. But then we have to download the images for the website, and so you could head over to unsplash.com, and notice here that in the example portfolio, let me refresh. So in the example portfolio here, we have the crypto project on the sentiment analysis and also the crypto trading bot. And so we're gonna find two images to put in here. And notice that I've already created this caption of the image, and so we could also click on the particular link here to go to the exact page. But then for demonstration purposes, we're just gonna type in either here or here. Okay, we're gonna type in cryptocurrency, and then notice that this is the exact image that I've used by Andre. So you want to click on the middle part of the image, or you could click on the download link here, but then it will download a default resolution. But then if you want to download a smaller version, you could position the mouse icon to the middle part of the image, click on it, and then it will expand. And then at the top right hand corner, instead of clicking on download free, which will download the default version or resolution, you want to make sure that the mouse is over at the drop down menu part at the far right of the button. Click on it, and then you will be able to select a resolution of your choice. But if you click on the download free, it might be the original size, which might be big, and when it's big, it will occupy a lot of space on the website, and that will consequently make the website load a bit slow. So I like to use the small version here, and you could click on it, and it will download this particular attribution pop-up appears. And so you could click on the copy to clipboard icon, and then it'll provide you with the HTML code that you could just copy and paste into wherever you want to use it. For example, if we're making the portfolio website, let me show you. So the copy and paste will look exactly like the one here. Let me put it at the bottom. So you can see that it looks exactly alike here. Okay. And so this will give us the message here with a link to the author and a link to Unsplash. And then the image will appear here. But then we first have to upload the image. So let me show you. Let me show you how to upload the first image. Let's go back to the portfolio website of the repository. And then you could click on Add File at the top panel here. And then click on Upload Files. And then it brings you to a new page. And then you could choose your files. Click on it, and then a pop-up window will appear, and then you could select your image. Another would be to just drag and drop and place it inside this particular box. So let me drag and drop. Oh, but then I've downloaded multiple times, and so the image creates a number 4 for me here. Okay, let me move it to the desktop, rename it, drag and drop, and I'll delete the 4th version here. Commit changes, wait a bit. All right, image is here, and you see the preview here is working. And if we go back to the website, refresh it, it might take some time. Give it some time. And so here we're gonna download another image, and then I think that I probably search for technical analysis or cryptocurrency trading. And then to save us time, let's just click on the link here. Yeah, it was cryptocurrency trading. Let's click on the link here. But let me right click and open up a new tab. Okay, and then I'll have to find another image. Or for demonstration purposes, let us use, how about the one with the, yeah, right here. How about that one, like trading, right? So let's click on the middle part of the image, and then the pop-up appears. Go to the right-hand corner, click on it, and download the small version. And then we're gonna go back to Portfolio 2, the repository, and now we're gonna upload it. But actually, you could just drag and drop directly into this particular repository window without even clicking on Add File, right? So typically you would click on Add File, Upload File, and then it brings us to the next page, and then you could drag and drop or click on Choose Your File. But there's a shortcut. Let me show you the shortcut. So in this main repository page, you could just find the image that you want and then drag and drop it, right? And then it'll upload, and then you could just commit the change. And there you go. The new image is here, and let's click on it. And then I want to copy the name of it so that we could update the one in the readme.md. Okay, so I'll click on the readme.md and then go ahead and click on the edit this file icon again. And then we're going to replace it with the second image. So I'll put it in here. And so this line, number 19, and line number 9 is the line to insert the image. Okay, so all of this are written in Markdown language, and I'll provide you the link to a cheat sheet for you to learn about Markdown. And so actually Markdown could be another video on its own. And so let me provide you a quick rundown of the Markdown that we're using in this particular website. But before doing that, let me update the code here first. And so go back to the image that we've downloaded the image from. It was this one, and then I want to copy the attribution here, right here, right? So I'll click on the copy to clipboard, click on it, and now it's copied, and head over back to Portfolio 2, readme.md, and then I'll replace it here. Okay, I'll make sure to copy and paste it here, and then I'll save it. And let's see if the image is here. All right, it works. Okay, and so let me go back to the code, provide you a line-by-line explanation. But before doing that, let's have a look at the preview. All right, so it works perfectly. All right, so this particular portion here, but before doing that, let me open up the screen. All right, so let's do the line-by-line explanation. All right, so line number 1, you're going to see the hashtag. So the hashtag means that we're going to make it a header. So when we have one hashtag, it's going to be a big header. And so in HTML, it will be H1. If you have 2 hashtags, it will become H2, and so it will be a bit smaller. And since we're using the asterisk here, an opening asterisk and a closing asterisk, and so the text inside will be in italic. And so notice here that we have another hashtag, which is the heading 1, and so education will be made a heading 1. And then here, because we have only a single asterisk, it means that it's going to be a bullet point for the Masters of Science line and also for the Bachelors of Science line. And notice here that YouTube University here will be in italic because we have an opening and closing asterisk. And aside just from having a heading, the heading could also be a link as well. And so we created using the hashtag again. And then to create a link in Markdown, you're going to need to use an opening and closing bracket. The text of the link will be inside the bracket, and then the actual link will be inside the parentheses. And make sure that the parentheses, opening and closing here, will be next to the bracket, to the right of the bracket, without a space in between. Okay, so that will become a link. Okay, and to place an image here, we're going to have to use the exclamation mark and then followed by the opening and closing bracket, and then we could place the alt text in here. And actually, you could type in crypto sentiment analysis. Let's try this one. Crypto trading bot. Save it. Let's refresh it. Probably it might be in the developer version. Let me see. Developer view source of the image. Of the web page. Let's have a look. Image source out. Okay, so here it goes. It's in the out tag here. Crypto sentiment analysis. Okay, so it works and it's right here. And so it gives the image caption. Okay, so it'll be good for having it inside the HTML tag, which might come handy when you're performing some web scraping. But nevertheless, you could also add that here, right? Let's continue. And notice here that line number 11 here is the attribution text that we copied from Unsplash, and it goes under the image, okay? Because we always like to use attribution under the image in order to give proper credit. And then lines 13 is going to continue to explain the project. This project integrates various news sources for performing sentiment analysis pertaining to cryptocurrency. And then you're going to notice that we're using the asterisk again for the bullet points. And in order to make the text bold, we're going to use double asterisk, an opening and a closing. And so the text in between will be bold, as you see here. And then we're going to repeat again for project 2, the same syntax that we've done for project 1. And then you could reiterate that over and over again for project 3, project 4, and project 5. Or you could also go ahead and check out the Markdown cheat sheet, which I will provide in the video description. And it's actually this one from Adam P. Let's click on it. Yeah, right here. So as I mentioned already, when you use a single hashtag, it becomes heading 1, right? So all of the Markdown that we're using here, let's have a look under the hood. It will be converted into HTML code, okay? So what we have in here to the left will be converted to HTML right here to the right. And so Markdown is a lot faster to write in, and it requires you to know minimal coding, and so you could perform some basic formatting of the text, and then it will be converted automatically into the HTML by the GitHub pages. Okay, so let's go back to the portfolio 2, and so we here have the 4 files of the website, the readme.md, which contains the content of the website, the config.yml, which contains the name of the theme upon applying the theme to the GitHub page. And then here we have the 2 images that we used in the portfolio website. And let's have a look at the portfolio website again. So if you forget, it will be dataprofessor.github.io/ and then the name of the repository. So instead of data professor here, you want to replace that with your username. Okay, so whatever your username is, .github.io/ and then the name of your repository. So in this example, we have it portfolio 2, and so username that you have for your repo, and then enter, and there you go. This is your portfolio website. And so if you're finding value in this video, please give it a thumbs up, subscribe if you haven't already, and make sure to hit on the notification bell so that you will be notified of the next video. And as always, the best way to learn data science is to do data science. And please enjoy the journey.